Hi, welcome back. Okay, so today we're going to be doing a lesson on matching interests for career clusters. So this is going to go along with the test that I had sent out. This has been like a little while ago, so I apologize, but it's going to match with the careers that I sent out. So just a little bit to kind of think about this. Our interests, things that we like, and our skills, things that we're good at, are very important when we're considering a career when we get older, because you don't want to be doing something that you don't like doing or that maybe you're not even good at, because you're not going to enjoy your job then. Okay, so we're gonna review and look at a few things. I know that some of you, we went over this last year, so this is just a review. We're gonna go over it quickly, and we're gonna look at the 16 career clusters. And so remember that a career cluster is when you have a group of jobs and industries that are related by skills or products. And the career clusters, they help us organize all possible careers into all of these 16 different categories. And it helps narrow down our career search so that way we can better decide what it is that we want to do when we get older. So again, we're going to go over this. So the first one here is the agriculture, food, and natural resources. So this is where you're going to have people that are using natural resources, such as farming, using cutting down wood to use for material. Same thing with using material for making clothes or blankets, oils. You're growing food, raising animals. So this is all the natural resources with this one. This category is the agriculture and construction. So here we have an architecture that is drawing up all of the construction work to help make it easier to build either a house or a building, or you have a actual construction worker that is building what is on the material. Or you have a carpenter who is fixing any issues that need to be fixed. Next we have here is arts, AV, technology, communications. So here you have somebody that's gaming, working in a museum, or maybe in the music industry, or maybe just you want to be on TV. So this is if you're wanting to do any of those things, you're in this category. The next category would be the business management and the administration. So here these are people that work with others and spend time planning and organizing. So this is a lot of planning and organizing and helping to make sure that the business is going smoothly. If this is something that you're good at, maybe you're good at organizing, planning, this might be a job for you. Next one is education and training. We all are very familiar with this one. This is where the teachers are in this category, or the principal, the assistant principal. If you're trying to tutor somebody, any kind of teaching and training somebody, this is what this category is for. The next category is finance. So these are people that work really well with money. So whether you want to work in a bank or you could be an accountant, this is where you're going to be working at if you're good with math. So all those math whizzes out there. The next category, government and public administration. So if you want to work for the federal, state, and local government, this is the place that you're going to be doing. Or here you have national security, or even the post office is in this category too, because you're working for the government. The next category we have is health science. So as everybody can see here, this is where we have our doctors, we have our nurses, we have, and those people that take the x-rays. Those are all people that are in here as well as our pharmacists that get our medication around for us. They're all in this category. The next category would be hospitality and tourism. So here we have a chef, and we've also got, if you see like hotel management, you know, you go to a hotel and you have people that greet you there. That's what that is. Or, you know, maybe you want to work in management as working at a fun place, like at a fair or something like that. Every place has to have management, so this is what that category would be. Next category, human services. So in human services, this is somebody like me as a counselor, or in my case, like as a social worker. These are people that are going to be helping out others, that want to help other people and have the passion to make sure that other people's needs are met. So this is the category for that. Next category is information technology. This is the category where you're going to work with computers and other technology. So maybe computer programming, or maybe you're doing a web designing. So this is the category if you really want to program things and put them out there for other people to use. This is the career cluster that you would be in. Next one is law, public safety, corrections, and security. So this is the one where we're going to have police officers, firefighters, judge, even we have crossing guards. So anybody that's trying to protect our community, they are in this category. Next one, manufacturing. So we have people in this category that are working on the assembly line, and they're working, this is basically if you know somebody that's working in a factory, this is where they're in this category, manufacturing. Next one is marketing. So these are the people that when you see ads on TV or ads in the paper or just ads anywhere that are trying to promote and sell things, that is what these people are here. They are trying to prove to people that their product is the best to buy. And if you're good at convincing people to do things or to buy things and you're really good with your words, this is the career for you. Next category is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So here you also have to be good with math. So here you have researchers and astronauts. And so if you are really good at math, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to work as an accountant. Maybe you want to be an astronomer. Maybe you want to do some researching or an engineer. So there's all kinds of different things that you can do. If you're good at one thing, doesn't mean that it has to be just one thing, that one cluster that you are good at. You can be good at a couple different kind of clusters. Oh, upside down. Next career, the last one is transportation, distribution, and logistics. So this one here is a lot about the transportation. So we have where the air traffic controllers, bus drivers, forklift drivers, also we could have even with the semi drivers because they're helping out with transportation and driving and making sure that either people or things are getting to where they need to be. So this is just an example of what career clusters look like, and a lot of those you notice that you have to have higher education. So like for instance with me, I'm in human resources, and in order for me to have gotten into the position where I'm at, I had to do a higher education. So once I was done with high school, I went on to college to get my 4 years right here at Ball State to get my 4-year degree, and it's called an undergrad. And then in order for me to move up in order to be like in a therapy or counselor or to even work here as a social worker, I had to get more education, which is called my master's. Some places you have to go even further and get in further than your master's, and you would have to get your doctorate. And some places that would need a doctorate, of course, is your doctor, to be a doctor. Also, some people don't realize that a doctorate degree, I could technically get a doctorate degree, and I could be Dr. Brenneman and get it in social work. And so that would just mean that I could either teach at some schools and social work and such like that. So there's a couple of different trainings and stuff that are needed, like maybe a certificate. Maybe you just need a certificate to be able to practice something. So like for instance, again with me, in order for me to, say, okay, in therapy, way in the past, like I used to do something that's called hypnotherapy. In order for me to even do that with any clients, I would have to be trained in it really, really, really well in order for me to practice on clients. So that's just a certificate that I would have to have. Associate's degree is when you have 2 years of college, and sometimes places you just only need 2 years of college, such as sometimes nurses, when you work in schools, sometimes you just need to have your associates. Bachelor's degree is the 4 years. That's what I got when I went to Ball State. Those two are called undergrad. Then you get up to your master's. Once you've finished your 4 years of college, you can move up to get your master's to get even more education, which is again what I did. Usually that's around 2-3 years of college. Then if you want to go on to get your doctorate, that's another like a year or two. And then there's other trainings like military that you would need to have as well. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to kind of like review a little bit of this again with you. So just remember there are 16 different categories of career clusters. And you can, like I was telling you with the math, you can have them mixed together. And you can have all kinds of skills. It doesn't have to be pinpoint just one. That's why they have the categories. So that way you can kind of look at it and decide, is this what I really want to do? Or I don't know. Because some people, like with math, if you're really good at math, you may want to be an accountant. But maybe you don't like to sit down at a desk all day or work with those kind of numbers and you don't want to be there. You maybe prefer to be an astronaut in, what am I trying to say? Technology and engineering, or an astronomer, that's what I'm trying to say, astronomer. Maybe you would rather work in those areas instead of being an accountant, which is fine. You're still working with math that you love to do. So that's why you got to really think about now, what is it that you really, really like to do? What are some skills that you're really good at? So that's the reason why at the very end of this, I am going to have everybody fill out, it's called Who Am I? And I want you to fill this out and try to fill it out in as much detail as you possibly can, because this is for you. It's not necessarily for me, but it's for you to kind of really look at what it is, who you are, what your interests are, what you're good at. So then that way, what I'm also then going to have you do, it's called career research. So what you're going to do is you're going to put up here what career goes along with your interests and your skills that you have that you wrote down on Who Am I. You're going to put that career on here. And just remember the clusters, the career clusters. I'm going to give everybody examples so that way they can look at them and get an idea of what fits best for them. Because then on the next part, you're going to write down what career cluster does this belong in. So that way you can better have that as an example. Does this career require training after high school? Yes or no? If yes, what kind of training is needed? Check all that apply. You could need more than just that. So like for instance, for me, I had to have my bachelor's and my master's in order to get this career. So I would have checked both of those. What are the duties? What are you responsible for with that career? What skills or interests do you have that make this a good career for you? Look back at the paper. Who am I? You can put that information in here to help you fill that out. The next one is, where would you work in this career? Are you going to work inside, outside? Are you going to work in an office, a factory? For me, it's in an office. I work in an office at a school. When are you working? Days, nights, weekends? I mean, you're going to also decide, what is it that you really want to do? Do you want to work days? Do you want to work nights? I didn't want to work nights. I didn't want to work weekends. So this is a perfect job for me because I only work during the days. If I say like had to work in a factory and I was working third shift, second shift, that would not be a good job for me. I would not be happy because those are not the hours that I want to work. So think about the hours that you want to work. What subjects do you think you need to study in school? So for me, when I was going through social work, I had, when I was in high school or in college, I needed to study anything to do with like counseling, working with people, educating myself like in people, in psychology, and I even had to do a little bit of science to kind of get to understand people, maybe like the brains a little bit, to understand like how it works. So I'm going to post 2 of these on there. I want you to, again, look at your who am I. Like that's why I want you to do it a little bit in detail so that way you can fill this a lot better out. Fill it out a lot better. Again, do 2 of them if at all possible, and then I'm also going to post again the pre-test, and that way you can fill it out and let me know what it is that you learned from here. So just remember, here you have a career cluster of things that worked together to make a cluster. And also I want to just make it really important to let you know that how important it is choosing your job and careers that align with your interests and skills. This is so, so very important because you don't want to be working at a place that you don't have the skills for it at all. Because one, you're not going to be able to keep the job very well because you don't have those skills to be able to do it. And 2, you're not going to like it. Make sure you figure that out now. What is it that you really, really, really enjoy? And I want you to then look at these career clusters and really think, is this something that I would enjoy doing? Let's see here. Another thing is, if this was a job that I wanted to work outside all the time, do you think that me being here as a school social worker, this would have been a good fit for me? No. That definitely would not have wanted to do this. If I was a person that wanted to work outside all the time, I would want to find a job that I would be working outside, like maybe with my hands or such like that. I would be miserable with this job if that was something that I really, really like doing, is being outside all the time. So again, make sure that you pick something, some kind of career that fits with your skills and your interests. And I want you to fill out the who am I. I want you to fill out 2 of the career researches based off of what information you put on the who am I. And then you're also going to fill out the rest of the test, the last test. And if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask me. I am here. Hope everybody's doing well, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.